So we'll start down this end with the smaller size bins, and we'll work our way through to the larger ones. So look, we'll start here. That's a 2 metre bin. That's the smallest bin that we've got available. Good for small clean-ups around the house. It's not really suitable for big items, you know, beds or mattresses or anything like that. None of that type of stuff's really going to fit in here. You might be able to fold a single mattress up to get it in, but apart from that, it's just, you know, small bits and pieces, clean-ups, or if you've got you know, a small amount of concrete or dirt or brick that you want to get rid of, you know, this type of bin will suit you. It's only small, so, you know, basically, if you want to walk past it, you're sort of looking at you know, 1-2 steps to get down the side of one of these. It's just up to my hip. So as you can see, it's small, handy bin. You'll get small stuff into there, probably about 3 to 4 car trailer loads of stuff if it's packed properly. Okay, so moving up from that, you've got the 3 metre bin, which is the next size up. Coming down the side of it, you know, you're sort of stepping past 2.5 steps. It's slightly higher than the 2. You can see that, you know, just onto my hip there, and this one's starting to get above it a little bit. Now with this type of bin, you are starting to be able to put longer items into this. You know, you're going to get a single mattress into that without any issues. You might be jumping up and down on a double to get it in, but you know, bed frames will generally sit in there. Tabletops, you're easily going to get those types of things in, and then any other junk you want to. You might get a small lounge into it, you know, a 2-seater. You know, you'll definitely get 1-seaters in there, but you're still a little bit restricted, but it's a very popular size, and you know, a lot of people like to use them. So moving up the line, then we've got the 4 metre bin. Again, walking down the side of this particular bin, 1, 2, 3 and a bit steps to get down the side of it. Now, this type of bin is, you know, it's longer than the 3. Again, it's a little bit higher. You can see it's sort of coming up over my hip now, whereas the 3, which was the small one next to me, just a little bit lower. So you've got that sort of difference in height. And you're going to start now getting anything with any length to it into this bin. All your sort of beds, flattened down cupboards, all that type of stuff's going to fit in there without any issues. And obviously you're going to get all sorts of junk and rubbish in there as well. Now, when you are putting, for instance, a 3-seater lounge in this type of bin, or in any of the bins, what you want to do is put it in neatly first. You know, get the big items in first, so then you can pack all your little odds and ends in and around them. You don't want to be sort of tossing a big lounge in, having it sort of sit there on an angle upside down, taking up a lot of space and then throwing junk on top. You just lose a lot of space that way. So, you know, in that case, in nice and neatly, and then start packing your stuff around. That's the way you're going to get the vast majority of odds and ends into these bins. Okay, so then moving up to the next size. Now this is, obviously we were just talking about a 4 metre bin, that's one here, and the next size up is now a 6 metre bin. As you can see, it's now coming up to my chest on the side, and so it's a little bit bigger at the front of the other bins, but when you're walking down the side, we're sort of taking 4 steps to get past that, and as you can see, it's all the way up to my chest. What I might do is just hop in, just gives you a bit of an idea on the depth of this thing. We've got plenty of room in here for anything big. All your big stuff starts to go in here without too many issues. 3 and 4-seater lounges will fit in this thing. Yeah, complete lounge suites, beds, bases, big cupboards, anything like that. Once again, things with cupboards. If you're putting a cupboard into any of this gibbs, if you don't want to pull it apart, put it in first, light down, doors open, and start filling it up. Don't put a cupboard in there that's full of air and then you're throwing stuff on top of it. It's just wasting a lot of room, and you know, more often than not you'll find that you've still got stuff left over if you're not packing your bin correctly. So there you go, that's a 6 metre bin. We're just moving up the list, and the next size up then, which is the biggest bin that we'll offer, that's a 9 metre bin. So as you can see, it's a slightly different shape on the front here. We it's slightly different. We still need to fit it onto the standard size truck, so you know your width is very similar to the 6 metre bin, but as you can see, you know, I'm up to my chest here, but this 9 metre bin is now up to, well, pretty much up to my chin. Now I'm about 6 foot tall, and so you can imagine putting that into context. It's, you know, it's a good size. Walking past the bin, you know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to get past it. And if you just want to come down this side, I'll just show you generally how we use this type of bin. Now, because these sides are so high, if you're throwing light stuff into the bin, that's fine, that'll just go straight over the top. But the way to load these 9 metre bins is from the back. Now, we've got this lower end at the back, so you can imagine, you know, people that are using these bins, these large ones, often do have big items to go into them. So for instance, you might get 2 guys, one on each end of a lounge suite, or 4-seater lounge, pick it up, put it on the side, let it slide, and just push the thing then into it. It's really handy having this lower end on this bin, and as you can imagine, it's taking up, it's accepting a lot of stuff. The 9 metre bin, you're going to fit roughly, you know, 10 to 12 car trailer loads of stuff in.